I know what it's like to be haunted by that thing. You don't need to comfort us anymore. Annie is officially losing it, tormented by the thing 24/7. There's a voice in her head telling her to take a permanent nap. Meanwhile, Lorraine and the gang finally show up at the crime scene. She's just kneeling there like it's the late. Suddenly, the surroundings turn pitch black. Clearly, Lorraine's back in dreamland. She watches a hand vanish behind a tree, and then her daughter and her bestie come barreling out like it's a surprise. Then the girl in yellow hands her friend Lorraine, and in the next second, her face goes full horror movie mode. She grabs a dagger and stabs her friend, but the girl quickly wakes up, realizing she's just committed homicide. Talk about a rough morning. Frozen in shock, she takes a dangerous stumble towards the edge of a cliff, but thankfully, Ed acts swiftly and decisively, swooping in like a superhero to rescue Lorraine from falling. That sure avoids a new tragedy. Meanwhile, all black tunes into Lorraine's intel, and they find the girl's body right under the cliff. But when Ed and crew get back up, the girl calls them up, saying Annie and that thing are locked up in jail, and it's still convincing Annie to off herself. If Ed and the team can't find evidence, no charge is needed for Annie, she might as well be in cuffs already. This whole situation has them both in the slammer, twice. No evidence means no trial for Annie, she might already be dead by its hand. Ed feels uneasy. They can only rush to the coroner's office at night with Ed and his wife. And just as Lorraine grips the corpse, she slips back into dreamland and a dark tunnel appears. Lorraine nervously ventures deeper. It sounds like a train is passing by. At the end of the hall, there's a woman doing something ritualistic clearly aimed at Annie. She's definitely trying to put a hex on her. Yikes. Realizing time is of the essence, Lorraine decisively suppresses her, and bam. The woman's altar is obliterated, and Annie gets rescued by the cops. But this woman seems pretty powerful. She spots Lorraine and claims their worlds are interconnected. Then she takes control of a corpse. Creepy. She's gearing the corpse up to attack Lorraine, but fortunately, Ed catches on just in time and dashes over to rescue her. Then they both hightail it back home. After some serious brainstorming, they've just figured out how to break the cows they need to destroy the altar entirely. But just then, Ed suddenly passes out for no apparent reason. When she wakes up, she finds herself in her own bed, and her wife and assistant have vanished. Ed slowly exits the room to find it looks like a burglar has had the fiesta door busted and all. Just when she's processing all of this, that mysterious woman pops up behind her, spouting gibberish before vanishing into thin air like a bad magician. Just then, the door creaks open again. The very corpse walks out seriously. Luckily, Ed dodges like a pro, but the thing isn't giving up, sprinting for her again. In a flash, Ed whips out her trusty cross and starts chanting scripture. Just as she readies a killer move, Ed realizes she's been cursed too. She starts rummaging through her house like a hoarder, knowing the thing must have hidden a goat skull cuss somewhere. And just then, Lorraine spots a wilted flower nearby, even though it was just delivered yesterday. Ed catches on too and quickly grabs the vase. The flowers instantly morph into gravestones. She smashes the vase and surprise, there's a goat skull hidden inside. That smash was well worth it. In her mind, she keeps thinking, yup, sure enough, there's definitely a goat skull hidden inside. Realizing the enemy wants them dead, Ed and Lorraine decide to split up. Lorraine rushes off to consult the priest for help, while Ed teams up with the assistant to analyze where the altar might be. It has to be near a river and have the sound of passing trains. Eventually, Ed discovers, in horror, that the altar is located at the priest's house. Oh no! Lorraine's already gone solo. Ed panics and tells the assistant to call the cops. Then she speeds off to catch up with Lorraine, but by now, Lorraine's at the priest's house spilling the beans about her husband being cursed. She hopes the priest will help them take down the witch, but he guides Lorraine to the basement instead of classic. He then shares a tragic backstory. He has a daughter, but his wife died during childbirth and as a priest, he can't marry. So he raised his daughter in the basement. Didn't she ever wonder about Sunshine? She grew curious about all the bizarre stuff he researched, possibly resenting him for not protecting her mother. Or maybe just mad about not having a normal life. Ultimately, she became a loyal servant of Satan. Talk about family drama. But now, witnessing so many deaths to his daughter, the priest finally spills the beans, admitting that her altar is deeper in the tunnel. As he opens the secret door, he urges Lorraine to stop this madness by going down there, but as soon as she steps in, he slams the door shut, and suddenly his daughter appears next to him. Realizing Dad's thrown her under the bus, the daughter instantly appears behind him and slits his throat. Ouch. At the moment Lorraine touches the wall, she sees the priest's death flash before her eyes, but she can't stop it. She can only hope to find the altar before the witch returns. She fumbles through the dark tunnel with her flashlight and finally spots a light switch in the corner. But when she flips the lights on, lo and behold, the altar is right there. Lorraine pushes with all her might, but it feels like it's glued to the floor. No matter how hard she heaves, it's still there, looking invincible as if it's welded down. Nothing she does seems to work. Just then, she hears footsteps behind her, and outside the priest's house, Ed arrives, hopping out of his car and shouting for Lorraine. He hears Lorraine from a nearby sewer grate, grabs a hammer, and Igor ventilators. Meanwhile, down below, Lorraine freaks out in a panic and darts around frantically, her heart racing, as the enemy lunges at her. Lorraine grabs a nearby rock and smacks the witch with it, shouting, "Not today." Then she finds her escape route while Ed finally discovers her hiding spot, frantically calling out for Lorraine only for her to accidentally hit him with her hammer. Ouch! She's swinging that hammer everywhere, hitting everyone around her like it's hammer time. And just like that, Ed falls under the witch's control. When Lorraine finds her, it's waving that hammer like it's a tool of terror. Ed starts wildly attacking Lorraine with the hammer, creating quite the family squabble, giving the witch all the time she needs to complete her evil ritual.